It's important to recognize and set position platitudes and information lines and grounds. So I thought we take a little walk. I think it's important that we get outside and, school you can do anywhere in set position, location, and settings. Right? But it's really standing, knowing exactly where you're coming from in set position. Cloud screens, directing lines, modification lines, and screen line interference. Center course interference. When you bring everything in live and travels, it puts everything in track location. All right? So this is what everybody should be doing. Just having fun and just cloud line screens, directing signals, modifications. It's much easier if you really understand how to use that through attractions. This helps you and formulates, basically get you a better grounds how to really see yourself in all ways and forms. Because that's what you look through, right? See the perimeters? Seeing way up here, not just here, up there, right? Seeing everything through window frame attractions, right? Setting core centers into the mind line. Puts everything in track lines to its communication lines, the surface. It puts everything in track location to its system. This balances all levels of you in line communication setting to its program. Directing all communication lines, opens all signals and modification to the center. Being in position location to its system off the cloud lines and direct signal. Okay? Recognizing platforms, 3 centers, the 3 track locations. See, this is a better way. All right, so basically, set in position lines of travel. The park is out of range, right? Just basically we stay in the center line communication, and we have a direct line on left, right? Setting lines of track location to a system. This basically gets you better ground centers. How to see this information lines, right? But that's what I need everybody to connect with and travel, right? Understanding how to use the informations, anything that ground center location to its system. All right? Knowing how to use your Wi-Fi. Knowing how to use your hand information lines, finger point lines of graphs, lines 2, 3, and 4, and 5, or 6. Bar time settings, time sectors, time calculation, time sequence. So it's basically understanding how to see yourself in all formations. Getting that with the ground lines basically gets you a better understanding how to see everything in information lines of setting. Okay, it's absolutely amazing. When you get a direct line of link, anything the cloud line, directing shapes, eliminates lines, graphs, communication, screen lines. See the structure line division, map and sequence going around that, from here to here, from here to here, from this or from this. Having fun with your fingers get you a better understanding how to use that information lines and grounds. This opens all communication systems. If I come here and pick up a stone, just a stone, everything's a shape, right? See the shape? Looking at a 4-line angle, right? That's all it is. Looking at all ways it is in circulation rotation. It's amazing when you actually look at it, what it is up close. It's intelligence, it's an information system. Has attract line centers. It's very connected to the Grothians in set position. Basic understanding what a rock is in set position, or a stone. Right? There's a twig. Okay? Coming in lines of communication sending to travels. Getting lines of core centers and line direct signals into modification system. Alright? It's a twig. It's a branch. Right? But it's intelligence. It's information lines. It's connected to Mother Earth. It has 2 vector line screens and a 3 triangulation. See? And if you look really close, what does it say? What does it say? A. A. Right? Awareness. See the A? Look, this is why a chart correlates the setting. Control levels a helicopter. There's always distraction everywhere in track locations. So, the basic understanding, guys, I'm just trying to get you guys into your imaginations at a higher level and how you start to see everything in set position locations. right? For example, seeing this, you know, sunflower, right? Okay. Look at the intelligence. Flashing lines, flashing lights, green stem, core track centers, directing lines that communicates to its system, all through track location. All right? But it's intelligence, guys. Right? It's very powerful what it is. We have to symbolize that and truly understand how this all works in set position, and how we see things. It's how we determine, is how we see these things in track location. All right? So I'm just basically walking around and, you know, picking up everything that I see. You know? It's pretty amazing. Anything is line screen adaptation to a system. Tinsel. Right? It's amazing to see it through light. Track centers, line communications disappears. Disappears, guys. See? It disappears in the light. See? It's communicating. It's weather, it's connected to the grounds, everything's connected to your powers, the atmospheres and the highways. It's creating its structure, it's creating the design. Right? Tinfoil, tinsel. Right? But you see it for what it is. Right? Where it is supposed to be in set position. All through light instructions. See? If you look really close, really close, what do you see? You see a picture. Like really close. See pyramids. See the face. Right? It's amazing when you come in position locations. Going beyond your imagination and setting. Okay? Yeah, but I'm just saying, it just disappeared. Right? But it is what it is. Everything formulates its system, all through intelligence. The more we identify that, the more we see the geometrics, the more we understand the operation, the more we understand what we're seeing through vision, through cortex. Right? So, I just wanted to show you, you know, or anything in pattern in set position, right? Everything. See? Pattern. See? Hieroglyphics, hieroglyphics, spot screens, directing modification screen lines. See it in a fortitude platform in line rotation, circulation rotation, all at once in travel, right? But you automatically look at the intelligence. You get connected to the frequency as you pick it up. You put it down, right? It's a different frequency, right? Now, I can place it anywhere I want. Your positions, you have to put it back where it was because it doesn't identify you through frequencies. Until you understand all levels of you of existing. Getting into that position, location, to its setting, then you understand everything location setting when it comes to location to its setting. Interference. All track location lines. Setting line calculation, setting to its travel. Directing lines of point lines of view. This helps you and guides you to really just reminisce and just joy, you know, absorb every second, every minute, every hour. Really start to connect in all information to its settings. This helps you and decides, you know, your positions of locations or anything that an indication, right? Water. You hear that? Harmonics. Okay? Everything has communication. Everything has to have communication. You have communication. Everything needs communication, so it can communicate back with you in set position, in setting. Okay? Everything's communication. Recognizing that, what it is, all information. Right? Now, this is pretty thorny. It's protecting its own system, what it is in tractions, right? Everything has a protecting system. Thorns, or location system. Looking at beauty, looking at the art, looking at the directions. What you're looking at is information. It's what it is. It's basically the sum of what it is. See? Anything through line screen adaptation lines of shadow. The shadow, the formation line, and light screen adaptation to its surface retriangulates its system location to its position of its program. Directing lines of signal, lines of attractions. That's lines of 3 settings. Process lines of 4. Over cross line conditions, umbrella. So it's like you're using your hand like a puppet, right? You ever put a sock on your hand? You know, you get some buttons and you communicate with that setting. Well, it's all about having fun, right? See everything that you need to see through face recognition, because that's what it comes into through attractions. Everything has a face that you see. Everything has to have a face because it has its own system, has its own consciousness, has its own awareness, has its own division, has its own locations. So it's very powerful when you start recognizing that. Understanding everything that you see is meant to see what it is, right? Getting into that position to its locations and setting, right? There's a reason why this is here. It knows its purpose. To look at the beauty, to look at the art, to look at the foundations of where it came from. Knowing that everything around you is already in its existing. Doesn't need to understand its existence. You're here to understand your existence. That you're already existing, all timelines all at once. And once you get into that position locations, life gets a lot more easier for you. Okay? Recognizing these things through patterns, or anything through plateau, or anything through your performance, your efficacies, or anything that you do through attractions. This helps you and guides you in all ways and forms, guys. That's all this is, right? Truly understand how you see yourself, right? The sum of everything that it is. Just what it is. Not trying to figure things out. Not trying to understand. You don't have to even understand telepathy because they already know their telepathies. Do you know what you're doing is the question. Looking at that position as the settings. Anything through cracks in surface interactions. Right? There's a reason why there's cracks in the road. It's creating its symbolism. Creating its structure. Creating its patterns. It's that position. Right? Nothing's a coincidence. Yeah, sure, there are things that have to be fixed in supposition, but there's a reason why we have these things at certain lines of levels, you know, but it just keeps existing, all timelines all at once. Identifying that basically gets you more lines of setting. This helps you and guides you, right? For indication lines, split lines anomaly, for tracking location setting, split lines that has high centers. See the roadway? Split in 2, right? But it's not, it's split in 1. So, even though you see 2 sides, it's 1 side. Even you see 3 sides, it's 1 side, because it all comes back together. It synchronizes systems, it platitudes location settings, it puts its geometric shape back into visual location to its locations, right? So getting into that position, it's truly understanding how to see these informations just by being outside. That's that calculation. All right. Now we almost spent 15 minutes outside of attraction, so I just showed you exactly what the sum of all is. Having fun with your fingers. You know exactly what you're doing through the recognizing settings to your plateaus and understand the formation to its setting through travels. Coming into that formation grounds. And all through communication. All right. How's everybody doing? So that was fun, wasn't it? Showed you a little bit, more levels when it comes into that. All right. So I just showed you exactly. Going outside is the best. I see it as medicine. You know, I think laughing is the best medicine. Knowing exactly what you're doing with your fingers, how to formulate, simulate, and how to calculate, how to use the arrows of indication system. because you can point your fingers at any direction, right? But you use it in all levels of what you already know through telepathy that basically gets your grounds and bounce these things out in all lines of division. This helps you and guides you. You know, it formulates and simulates all levels of you, of who you are, informations. All right, so getting the core centers into position lines of travels. 3 ground centers of position of 3/6 and settings lines of 2 track location. Okay, now modification lines that indicate lines of setting, 1 finger lines attractions into 1 thumb. Okay, core centers, core center linkage arrow indicates ground centers lines of 3, set correlation lines of 2 over track location. Now, you have to understand the circulation rotations and everything. The thumb indicates the line cross locations. Just use your thumb like this. Or go the other way. Right? But remember, one way is higher, the other way is lower. Has to be. You have to understand the low frequency. You have to understand the mediation frequency. You have to understand the high frequencies. So you got 3 frequencies into 1. You know what the 3 frequencies are in set position of? Past, present, and future. So you're constantly using the past, you're constantly using the future, and you're constantly using the presence of you, right? How you use that is determined how you see yourself in all levels of existing. So the past and the present and the future is just the existing how you see things. And direct and redirect. Okay? But there's 3 platforms that you go through settings of grounds. Grounds, powers, and atmospheres. The 4 division and set correlations out of the atmospheres comes into all levels of the highway. Coming into the highway, you get a higher track location setting to all levels of high position, which is magnetic force lines of communication. Okay, so now you're directing lines of center. And ground centers lines of communication with surface. All through track location. Okay? You stand in the center. Okay? And volume yourself through your mind. Right? Energetic grids, energetic domes, energetic screams, energetic location. All through travel, right? But you don't move. You stay in the center of expansion in set position. Okay? You stay in the center. You don't leave the center. We've been through this before. Right? So, as you come into that core line setting, it gets a lot more easier how to direct in your system location, your systems. Now, directing lines of the past, present, and the future. All right. So, present here, downshift. Okay, set core center line condition setting. Now, it gets really interesting too, because this could be the present. Who says this has to be the past? See, this could be the past. This could be the present. Right? It can be in any order it wants, right? Because it knows existing. It's always in existing, so you can change it at any time. And the future, well, future is in system. But this is in the future of the past. It's that position. So you're in control of what you do in the future, in position of the past, or position of the present, and how you see yourself in attractions, right? Because all you're doing is directing and redirecting. That's all you're doing, nothing else, right? So you're directing symbolism, lines of travel correlation setting to 144 platforms, into your earthline correlation setting divots. Crosses lines of 1, crosses lines of 2, crosses lines of 6, crosses lines of 8, and track location, right? Set core lines of highest interference of past, set correlation lines of future, position location of past, set position location of future, 1 cycle, 1 position of present, right? So the team has to start recognizing how to direct its system and information lines of grounds and set position, or how to track the line screen adaptations over cross-line communication to a system and travel. Okay? So all you guys are doing is directing and redirecting your symbolism. Remember we go into truth narratives and the false narratives? Well, remember how we came into the frame lines and set position location to a system, all through the settings? Go through these, the 3 cycles. This is half point. This is a full point. Okay? And this is a flux in set position. Okay, so half point, right? Full point, all right? And flux in set position. Okay, truth, set position lines in 1 truth. Remember, you're in control of what you do, so it doesn't matter. It's like half point. Half point crosses over cross line condition setting, right? That's a half point. which is the set position locations and how you see yourself in track location system when it comes into a half pipe. Half pipe line signals, X2000 comes in a platform line screen, directing signals over line and cross location, right? Inside position comes out through equation into information location of its future, right? So you're always in the existings of platforms and set position lines, high C, line course centers, and travels in rotation system, and track location to your pyramid and track location. See? Everything you're doing is nothing but imagination of core. It's a directing lines of communication system, all levels of imagination, that puts everything in platitude line direct signals in core centers that travel in face recognition. Okay? So, knowing exactly how to understand how direct and redirect is basically understanding the structure of low frequencies, medium, and high, right? Direct and redirect, right? Changes frequency, right? Changes frequency, right? Changes frequency, right? Changes frequency, right? It's constantly changing frequency of the existing every single time you're in position locations. So if you're in the center operation, this is U interactions and direct signals, platitude lines of 3 cycles and 3 correlations, right? Energetic dome, cross location Earth, directing signals and modification lines. So Earth line cycles in 1 center, 1 traction, 1 division, 1 location, right? Crossing line calculus setting torical fields. More of your imagination, the more you get in track locations and what you are in division. In set calculations, settings, and all line connections. Merkaba. Okay? Traveling through the platforms and settings of center of travel. Sets position of 2, 3, 6, 8, and 12 through a black hole and track location to a setting. Right? So you go through the mechanisms in the securing line defense. Okay? And then you go from here in set position, then you come from out from here in set position, out through equation. This is you traveling line position location to a system, all through calculation line settings and model identifications of prototypes and track locations. From this and coming out, right? So everything that you do in line position location, you're doing in the past, present, future, timelines all at once. Timelines all at once is truly understand all levels of what we come in position lines of tomorrow, or we come into 2H lines of screen lines of adaptation, or we process lines of 3 triangulation lines of cross locations, or directing signals and line position locations in 1 center, 1 traction, 1 division, 1 location. Ground center lines, circulation lines of center, operation surface, and track location. Directing core lines, high center interference of center, communication through system through operation. Or directing magnetic highway line screen adaptation lines of formation and screen location through a setting. Right? So basically you do it here, or you can do it through structure, whatever you want to do, right? But understand the finger points and 3 platforms and 3 core settings and recognizing the communication system of face recognition of patterns, okay? Set core centers of all settings from this directions, directing from this direction locations, or align signals upline communication lines of 3 track location. Okay? So all you're doing, and I keep saying, all you're doing is you're basically staying in the center. Okay? The mind is just basically doing everything it needs to do in settings. So you're just doing this and this and this. It's all done through the mind itself, right? So the body's here, the body's here, the body's here now. They're there, right? So the body goes here, time jump. That's you. That's where you're going to be. Now, how long did it take you to get there, right? Well, it took you 3 days. 3 days, you're there, right? That's 72-hour frame. Ego lines the clocking systems of a CPU. Track correlation lines the default. Now, understanding how to use that through your particle accelerators, you understand how to go through timelines. Again, in that communication setting, you have a 72-line window into a core centers into computer aligned screen adaptations and kaleidoscope and track location system that opens all calculate and modifies in the 3 days of 72 tractions and direct signal. Okay? Pi, guys. Right? So 3 days in settings. So you know exactly in 3 days you're going to be there. Okay? all through dimensional or solar sail and track location. Solar sail, guys. Okay? What is a solar sail to a line communication setting? A buoy. B-U-O-Y. Water. Charter waves, directing signals, modification lines, detections over probing, track correlation setting of travels, directing lines, modification of symbolism, and line communication through settings. If we get a 21 flat, all right, and a 14 line ground, okay, setting correlation lines of two directions over one line division, okay. Equal lines indicates one cycle, more of your imagination, more in description, more in line calculation setting, in set position, right? So you have fun with it, right? Indicate lines of 1, 2, 6, and 12, right? You do what you want to do. Information lines, this is all levels in the past, equals lines of future, equals lines of existing. So everything that you say in the equation is all levels of existing. So it's the past of existing, it's the present of existing, it's the future of existing. And that's what the team's coming into. Platitude lines of one cycle, one surface. Platitude screen lines, adaptation lines of one track location and one provision. Okay? Core centers and platforms over one. Remember, you're changing the frequencies that never stay in the same frequencies. Ground center lines of 2 over arrows and indicate lines of 3 over track location to a setting. Okay, very powerful, right? Going through line screen adaptations into levels, half pipe, setting the core centers in a particle line screen, and a circulation rotations in a full pipe in track location. Okay, XC1000 comes in, right? Scans the system of the center, right? Goes to the center correlations of what you've done in directions, right? And then picks it up, right? In set position. Okay, very powerful stuff. So the more you indicate to that, the more it gets easier to actually see yourself in line screen adaptations, going from here and out through here, right? So there's line screen adaptations where you formulate yourself in all lines of center of operation of all communication lines, which is all position of view through nothing. Nothing is how do you see the formation system, right? Break it down, break it down, break it down. That's what I keep telling you guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Break it down in 5, right? Then you go into lines. If you have to go equal lines, of course, center inference, you go through I, and then you go through N, and then you go through G. But as you break it down, you're breaking down the symbolisms, right? So you don't even have to start here. You can start there. So this could be direct, and this could be direct, right? Direct and direct, right? But you need a direct and redirect. So if I say direct, direct and redirect is already there. I don't need to say direct and redirect because direct and redirect is one. So you're taking the past, the present, and the future of walking the symbolisms of one, okay? Which means you're formulating all levels of travels and all communications to all indications of arrows into one, all right? But you're doing it through the platitude, and you're recognizing the platitudes and how to go into the lines of core centers, your networks, your operations, your travels, and your home beacons, right? And track correlations to your grounds, new cycles into intelligence. Okay. Center core settings, center operation lines of surface, track location lines, direct signals, XD1000 and travel. Hoo-ah. Okay. Platform lines of cycles, one center, one tractions, over cross lines, flipping line direct signals into new modification lines of model type and track location. Or we add line screen adaptations over cross line conditions setting, over line direct signals and modification. Okay. So that's what direct and redirect is. It's just one. So you're not directing and redirecting, you're just going at the same time. So when you start off, you're going through the steps, right? But always know that you're always at the top, not the bottom, right? You see the bottom, but you see this through pi. So it's not how to go, right? No, it's this coming to you, right? So you don't go up the steps. The steps come to you, okay? Which is very powerful. So once you understand that, then you understand how to use your finger lines, directing signals, modifications. You go from inner cast and outcast, right? So it's kind of like waving a wand. That's why I wanted you guys to watch Harry Potter. It's like, you know, abracadabra, you know, and poof, You know, something appears or something you change. You're changing the molecule, changing the atom, you're changing the structure, you're changing the GOD just by waving your wand, right? That's the formation lines of magic. But how do you see magic? Well, let's break this down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 lines of 8 lines of setting. Okay, minds, atmospheres, grounds, intelligence of communication. Magic. Formulates a system and travels, point lines of graph, communicates the system, line communicates the setting, the center operation. That's magic. That's what it is. Magic is how you see magic and how you see magic, not what is given to you through magic. That's not magic. So it's about understanding that when you go to a show and you're in the audience, and it's very powerful when you come into that position locations, you're basically looking at what's going on, which is magic, right? But it's an optical illusion. It's a distractions, right? Everything's a distraction, right? So what you have to understand is how to identify the distraction. And then you understand, oh my gosh, this is fascinating stuff. So if the position of its magic trick and the one that's actually doing the magic trick, he knows the trick. He knows it's not magic. Putting that position location. So if you know the magic of the trick, you know how it's done, right? So it's done in the formations for you to concentrate on is all also entertainment, how you see these things, right? So my hand's here, but what's going on with my other hand? Right there, but you don't see it. You only focus on this. You're focusing on this. You should be focusing on this. Now, what you can't see, you can't understand, but it's there. It's always there. It's never left the system. So if you understand that, that's how it formulates locations and how you see things through magic, right? But that's what I'm saying. The mind, you can change the awareness, you can change the grounds, you can change the intelligence, and you can change the communication, right? Set lines of course centers of pi and center operation. Split it lines of 3 tractions. Start with that, right? 3-point lines of tractions and direct signals. Indicate lines of 1 platform, 2 centers, and 3 core centers. 3 times the clocking, set position lines of travel. Okay? Directing sim lines and 3 correlation lines of travel. Okay? Set symbolism in 1 track location lines of 6 line communication lines of travel. Directing lines of 3 lines of 9. 3 indicates high center. You can add clocking to anything in set position. Who says it has to be 12, 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 12? It can be anything it wants. It could be 4 zeros. There's a clock right there. So the more you come into your imagination, the more it comes in settings of realism into your energetic core that line signals the system all through travel in set position. How you see yourself in track location of your imagination is what you're doing through creation. Cross-line conditions of magic, changing the mind, changing the atmospheres, changing the grounds, intelligence of its communication, right? Directing course center line conditions setting, all levels. Line conditions setting in line communication to infusion and subposition. Operate the cycles, operate the system. Flux capacitors coming into 3 lines of angle. Sets lines of communications, right? Satellite. See it? Then we just set up the sonar, right? Set lines of communication, lines of attractions. There it is. Okay, there's the satellite. Boom! Woo! Now sonar is going out. Right, there's the sonar going out, right? In detections. Planet comes in, sets position, right? Scans back at you, right in center operation, all through satellite dish, right? And this is all done through magic, right? Without even thinking of what you're drawing. Your imagination doesn't think. It just already knows what it is. It's the intel that gives all information location to its grounds and how to see yourself, not going up the stairs, seeing yourself the stairs coming to you through attraction. Directing signals lines of communication system, then you understand how to go through right and left and right, right? But that's continuous in one force. It looks like it's going back and forth, but not. It's actually rotating. And it's actually circulating at once. You don't see that. You only see this. But when you go really fast, this is what you're seeing in position of interactions. In set position. That's all you're seeing right away. That's how fast it is. But you only see it from this. You don't see anything else. It's not doing that. It's already in circulation. It's already in its rotation. Okay? So you got to see it on a 4-line split, lines of anomaly, lines of bypass, or anything through air indication system, right? So you never see it in this lines of attractions because it's going too fast in circulation rotation all at once. So that's what you're doing. It's very important to get into that in set position. Okay? Because that's all it is. It's portals and stargates. And it starts lines of communication setting where you add 3 lines of cycles, 3 grounds. There's just 3 ground centers. See it? Set of 3, set of 4, set of 2, set of 1. Set 2 over 1, 2 over 3, okay, and 3 over 5. So it's amazing what you can do through platitude, right? Ground centers is human residence, directing lines alpha, delta, and theta, and omega. Okay, ground center is 1, exceed 1000 comes in 2 platforms at 3-track location. Calculate, modify 1 center, set position location 2 centers, and cross location lines of 4 setting calculation. Okay, so we got the ground center lines, high center interference, bringing track location to a setting through travel, right? All right, so we cross line symbolism. Now we cross line communication lines into a location grid, sets communication lines direct signals, and telepathy to all levels of telekinesis. Okay, energetic graph line. Core centers cross line symbols, line communication lines alpha into beta. It still runs, but it's an alpha beta, right? So it's amazing how we come into that through energetic lines, of course, in like it's a setting, or 3 split lines of anomaly, and 3 track location lines of high setting. Electrical lines and communication lines of high center interference, coming in cloud planes, core centers line direct signals in clouds, directing lines in line rotation settings into lines of travels, calculate, modify, and particle line rotation surface and thermal communication setting to travel communications. 4 central lines of calculation, right? So when you get into your imaginations, it all comes in line signals of balance, right? Without even thinking of what you're doing, right? You know it's a satellite, now what do you do with it, right? You could add 4 lines of signals and set position location to a system. You could add 4 line cycles and line screen adaptation to a system, or you go through 4 and then you go through 3. That's 4 and 3. What is it? What is it? Right? What does it mean? What is it to you, right? Because it can be anything informations, right? Then you add lines of high center interference of 14. Okay. Then you add lines of 1 line connection. Let's add another 3. Okay. Try to see no 4 line communication, right? Directing line screen adaptations to process lines, direct signals modification. Okay. So it's lines of B line and direct signals modification. Right? Just C format. Okay, C lines equals lines of 1. Set coordinate lines of 0. Set location lines of DX. And position of X box. And of course, centers and travels. And 4 line screen adaptation settings and travel. Okay? So always see it on a 4 line setting. So direct and redirect is line screen to the north, east, right, west, and south. Your news, right, your current events. Seeing it through a film strip, and direct signals to kaleidoscope, and line screen adaptation to a system and travel. Okay? Because that's all it is. That's how you're seeing your body, and that's how you're seeing all levels of projector and projection. Open signals, line condition setting, infinity 8. Set position locations, a system 1 cycle, and 1 center, 1 traction. In this way, and coming out this way in set position. Right? So it doesn't matter how you look. You're always looking in position. Remember in the multi-camera, core centers lines of position, platforms here, 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 or platforms here, 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 right? Or platforms here. You go in a 45 angle, indirect signals, right? So this is going out, this is coming in, right? So this is going out, this is coming in, right? But it's a direct and redirect at the same time. Direct and redirect at 1, direct and relines at 2, 3, 6, 8, and 12. Okay, platitude center lines, of course, centers. Set position attractions to 3, 2, 1, and cycle. Set position location 1 center, 1 traction, 1 division, 1 location, 1 calculation. Right? But always see it on a 4 line connections, guys. That's the only way you can understand what's going on. Okay? It's that position. All right? It's more understandable if you understand how to use it in all lines through a kaleidoscope, or microscope, and how you see things in information location to its settings. For example, let's go through data sheets, process lines, and plasma. Indicate settings, wire indicates lines, rotations, intervals. It's really interesting when you look at it in track location, right? Setting core centers and 3 core centers and 3 track locations, all through wire indication system, all through light and track correlation, right? Up close, right through a microscope. So the microscope is here, and you look at it through the lens, right? And that's how you're seeing the platform. So the grounds, the powers, and the atmosphere is just at position. Now, once you understand how to see the data formation comes in ground center locations of balance. Understanding that aligns the communication system, puts all levels of U and travel and direct signals in modification, all through track location of intelligence. Okay? So it's knowing how to see everything down is up, and see everything up is down. But then you have to understand that you can switch that now. You can do that, circulate the rotations. So it's about the continuous forward that has to really understand the formation locations going this way, and then going this way. And once you go this way, and once you go this way, you're going together as one. And you're going so fast, it's a continuous force that just keeps existing. All levels of existence of all timelines all at once. So that's all it is, really. But you have to get the grounds, the powers, and the atmospheres, and your highways, your modems, your satellites, your towers, always, always, always have to be on in-track locations or settings. And anything they see, information, location, and its grounds, is set position and travels through its satellite. Okay? And if you look really close, you can see the intelligence of the face. See the eyes? There's the intelligence, right? That's the shape of the intelligence, which is the actual satellite itself, guys. Remember, it morphs into anything that it sees, but it's constantly in the existing of everything, right? Now you understand the platitude when it comes into past, present, future, right? That doesn't exist, but how it exists to you is adding frame. Remember, your past, your present, and your future is one. Okay? It's knowing all timelines, how to see a drawing, all levels of one. Okay? Direct and redirect. Direct and redirect. Direct and redirect in one. Look really close. You can see it disappeared right in front of you. See? It's gone. Where did it go? Reshape the system locations, right? So I'm just showing you exactly how we come into that setting. See the intelligence of the face? See? There's intelligence inside, right? Walking a system. Going beyond the mind is to understand the adaptation of force. Force calculations, ground centers, position, location of the system, all through center coordinates sending to travel. Okay? So always, always see yourself looking all the way around. You're always looking this way. You're always looking this way. You're always looking this way, all at once. So you're taking the past, the present, and future all in one. You're looking at all directions. Okay? Everything you look at, you're looking at all directions, all at once. All at once, guys, in a position location of force. Setting lines of communication setting to all lines into 6 and 9 in track location. Okay? Because everything's together. There's nothing separated. Everything is not separable. Nothing has been separable. If I look at a symbolism of this, right, through set position, right, you have to understand the central setting, how this all works. And a 4 platform, split lines of anomaly, H lines, screen adaptation lines of flux, course interference, travel. Sets lines of circle, rotates the system, but they're together. Okay? So even if there's a space here, they're still together. They're never separated, okay? So I just want you to understand how this all works in track location of balance, okay? How you can change the modification screens or change the track location lines of measure, change the waving panels and line screen adaptation to a surface and travel. Change its direction by itself. Okay? So there's no right or wrong that you do. There's nothing to process. There's nothing to do, right? So the only thing you do is nothing. Now that puts you all over your networks, that puts you in your operations, that puts you in your travels, that puts you in your home beacon light, right? That puts you in your intelligence, Okay, coming into your news cycles, into your grounds. Okay, so you see it how you want to see it, right? So knowing exactly through a scrambler and line direct signals, so go through THE or ETH, right? Crossword, right? Trying to mix the patterns. Setting core lines that communicate in the system. Missing the words in line direct signals modification lines. It's trickery if you understand how to modify your system through your own settings, through your own placebo, through your own cortex, through your line position, location, and travel. So ETH, what does that mean? Break it down, break it down, break it down. What is THE? Break it down, right? So it could symbolize the same thing. It could be the energy line. It could be the teleportations. It could be all levels of its home setting and travel. It could be the telescreens. It could be in position locations of home network. It could be the existing of you in 3-track location, right? So it's amazing, right? When you really understand what you're drawing and set calculations. Breaking things down, guys, it's what you got to do. It's all you got to do. Know exactly how you see yourself and how you want to formulate yourself of your own self to identify yourself of all existing, of all timelines all at once. Just constantly existing in everything, all formations. Living the cycles in the grounds, living the cycles of the powers, living the cycles of the atmospheres and the highways and 4 settings into the panels of communication, which is all calculated modified into your H. See, the H in set position, right? H is your home beacon light. H is your home. H is your connection system. Okay, it's your hotel. It's your golf. It's your pop. It's your uniform. But it's always in the center of operation that you have to understand the platform that never leaves the system. Right? It's just this expands and this expands and this expands, but your center lines never basically leaves the system. It always stays in the center. So it grows the system, yes. But you have to understand you have to have panels because that's how you guys are structured in your system. It's that position, right? So it's really understanding that you're looking at yourself as solid matter, right? Well, there's nothing solid matter about you. But how you define yourself as solid matter is breaking these things down. Solid, self, operation, levels, intelligence, subdirection. So you tell me, how is that solid? Because I'm constantly changing the binary, changing the diagram of the existing, not the existence, it's the existing. That's just the continuous force that just keeps flowing of recognition. Now, once you understand that, then you understand the platforms, how it comes into 144. Okay, and that's where you can basically get into 144, get into 244, get into 344, or travel. And the faster you go, the more you get in positions of center operation of you. More balance you get, the more you understand yourself in settings. 444. Oh my goodness, you could be 1,000,000,044. Right? You can be anything you want, right? Who says no otherwise? But it's knowing and recognizing these things, once you understand what direction is, then you understand how to climb up the stairs, because you already did. So if I've already climbed up the stairs, it's very important you understand these things, guys. You have to really understand how this works through abundance and manifestation. You're here, right? But you've always been here. So you don't have to go here. Everything comes to you. I mean, it's already set. So that's what I mean. So formulating through that. Now, this and this comes together. Okay? And this formulates yin and yang. There's the balance, there's the flux. Okay? So you just expand with each other. You versus you in expansion, all levels of exploration of unification system and travel. And that's all it is. There's nothing you can't do through bandwidth. There's nothing you can't do through all lines. There's nothing limit that you already know. You're limitless. But what does that mean to you? Limitless can mean something different. But what does it mean to you? It's how you express yourself. And once you understand that, you can set the location setting, you can see it through a star. Or you can see it through an H-line screen. Or you can see it through pladitude lines of grounds. Or you can see a platform communication lines with 4-track locations. Or you can see a ground shift lines across location as 4 settings of measure. Or you can correlate as high variance of portals of communication lines of stargates and travel. Or you can set position location to assist into an XD1000 in travel communications. So you're constantly moving this really quick, very fast, right? So once you understand that, then you understand all formations of view of travel. How are you looking at things? Because that's what it is. It's the center core system that never leaves the system, right? So everything you're looking at is a direct line of link. So this is what it is, all right? Past, present, and future. Direct. That's direct, right? Going this way, all right? So that position of past, present, and future, right? But now you're in the future. Now you come into the present. Now you come into the past. Okay? So it's a roundabout. It's a circulation rotation and a continuous force that goes in the same directions altogether in traction. So that's what direct and redirect is. One lines in supposition going so fast, and you're seen in all ways and forms of circulation and rotation. Okay? You can even double loop the system and travel. You can triple lines of communication lines of travel. You can quadruple the line communication lines of travel. Or you can cross line symbols and cross over line communication lines of travel. Or you can change the center operation location lines of view location lines of travel. But everything you're doing, you're constantly in a continuous flow of always existing in all timelines all at once. That's all this is. Nothing else. It's not complicated. It's easy. The one thing that doesn't leave is the center operation of you and attraction. Okay? And again, with the stairs, right? I wanted to point that out so you get a better understanding how to use your fingers. And how to use your fingers is basically, doing the signature line. Just get into the flow. It's like, getting your hands on a piano or doing this. Slide across, slide across, overlap, 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 right? Do that again, go here, go here, go here, go here, go here, go here. Just basically use your fingers and get in the correlation lines of balance. Setting lines of circulation, rotation in one cycle, one center, one division, one location, one calculation. Okay? Set lines and settings. Remember, it's all through imagination, right? Set core centers, direct and redirect, which is one symbol, one setting. Tubing lines, screen adaptation lines of force. Look at that. Look how powerful that is. That's ear to ear, right? Ear to ear, right? So, again, in that, communication lines are high center interference. If you look really, really close, you can see communication lines of all lines of 3, 6, and 9. 3, 6, and 9. 3, 6, and 9 in that tube. 3 core centers, 6 position, and 9 setting. 3, 6, 9. Okay? So who says 3, 6, 9 has to be a triangle? It doesn't. It can be anything informations. Setting lines of triangulation, yes, 3, yes, 6, and 9 locations, right? Formulates through Tesla, right? So understanding the theatrics of view is understanding the 3 of expansion. This is what you can do with all laws of 3 and a continuous force that just keeps going through existing. That's just 3. Let's go through 6, 9, and pladitude line screen adaptations, all levels of force, direction, and time sequence that overcross line screens adaptation. And there you go. You see it how you want to see it, but that's 3, 6, and 9. So I want you guys to understand you have to get out of patterns, you have to get out of blocks, you have to get out of screens, you have to get out of box square roots, you got to get out of triangulation lines of surface, you got to get into modifications how you actually see 3, 6, and 9 and track location. Measure lines of force, directing signals, modification grounds, center core system and travel, and position lines of calculation. It disappeared. I'm just showing you what it is in travel, right? Go beyond your imaginations. That's all you got to do. Because the calculation screen lines, remember, the numbers, letters, shapes, and symbols will come to you once you start to recognize you through force of recognition. As long as you see yourself in the center operation of you, which is the center of nothing, which is the mass of everything, then you come into the expansion. That's all you're doing. This does not leave. You're expanding this. You're expanding this through pi in all ways and forms, trying to recognize what that all means to you as you break it down through mass in track location to its system, all through webbing cycles in light and dark web and track location to its setting and position. A web. your light and your dark web, or your truth and your false narratives. But this never leaves. Look, what's there? Intelligence in the center operation. Okay, that's what's controlling the platform, right? Which is existing. Let's change it into green. And then you can see location of sentence and channel. Okay, there it is. Intelligence. Okay. So this is controlling everything here. So everything that you see on the ground, anything you see in the atmospheres, anything that you see, you always are in the center of operation of everything that you see. But what you have to recognize is understanding it's direct and redirect. It's a symbolism that just keeps going on a continuous force. It's set positional levels of formation lines, all in existing, all at once. Oh, another intelligence. Let's bring the eye tracks. Another version of Spider-Man. So that's all it is, guys. It's your imaginations. Once you understand that, it gets much easier in track location. How you see 3, 6, and 9, right? But you actually see it in the tube, 3, 6, and 9. If you look really, really close, you see the 3, the 6, and the 9. Okay? Going beyond how you see these things. Understanding ground centers, line condition setting is zero gravity, or anything in track location to its provision. Okay? Box centers, open sequence, right? It's not a complete box, is it? Because it's open, right? Which means there's line signatures going through in traction. Which means there's energetic line screen adaptations to its graphing system going through track location, right? Crossing line calculus setting over cross lines of box line frame correlation lines of track location, the time stamping. The more you just relax and the more you become the inner core, the inner child, the more you formulate the existing, all levels of existence, it's a lot more fun in track location, right? So that's what it is. It's just having fun, right? Fun, just drawing. What are you drawing? Doesn't matter. You already know what you're drawing, right? It helps you and guides you and understand how to keep your finger points in line with the location of balance. And all track location, right? There's no thinking in the mind, guys, right? Just the existing of what you already know. The existing and 3 platforms. See there are 3 platforms? You see the 3 platforms. Grounds, powers, atmospheres of 3. Now, you're here. You're in the center. This is you. Okay? Controlling everything. Right? Now understand the platforms. Now, if you understand your grounds, powers, and atmospheres, then you come into line calculus and study to your highways. Ah, okay. This is interesting. Highways, right? Directing signals. Tubing system down cross location. Yeah. All right, so get that position line's high center. So the ground line is the earth. Obviously, we know that in track location, which is your crop circle, right? But you have to also understand, too, your ground center in line communication setting is your torical fields, which is your Merkabah, tesseract, and tetrahedron, that you're always in line position location to its system, all through calculation. Okay? You have to, because you're in a different atmosphere line. The only thing that changes is the platforms, and that goes in line screen adaptations. The process you over here, process over here, process over here, and track location. But it's all done through the mind. You never leave the center. So you're in the center that just grows the system of circulation rotation, all through calculation. Okay? When you look really close, you can see intelligence. See? Intelligence above. Where's the intelligence? You saw it, right? So the eyes disappeared. All right, so it disappears and it goes to reposition to its setting. But I wanted to show you how you can go beyond everything when you come into that all levels of formation locations. How you see 3 and how you see 6 and how you see 9. Because you can see it from this way, you can see it from this way, you can see it from this way, and you can see it from this. So imagine this spinning really, really fast. Right? Imagine this spinning really, really fast. That's one surface, right? Imagine it doing this. Okay? Imagine it doing this on a quarter angle. Right? Imagine doing this on a 3/4 angle. Imagine doing this on a flipping screen. Imagine doing this on a flat surface. all at once. That's what you guys got to get into. How to see it in all different angles. See? Look at that. See it from that angle. See it from that angle. And see it from this angle. All at once, guys. All right? And see it from this angle. Okay? That's how you connect to everything that you see, because everything is doing that. So nothing ever leaves the center. Okay? Everything is basically existing already. So if you understand the center operation of you, center operation of you, center operation of you, center operation of you, you're just expanding through the center. 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 But you never leave the center of you. This stays in system and track location. So all you're doing is expanding here and here and here through triangulation. Right? So I don't want anybody to get confused with that. And how you see things, information, location, and instruction. Right? Well, we'll show you. You see it that way, right? Right? You see the intelligence, right? Like this. Right? Okay? Always see it in a 4-line setting. It's much easier to see it in location. Now, once you understand how to see it in all 4, then basically you see it in how you see it through pi of all 6 or 8. Seeing from below, right? Know exactly how you see the measure, the scales, the balance, and everything through the geometrical lines of operation cycle. Setting lines, attractions, and direct signals. Direct and redirect all at once. That's direct and redirect. Direct and redirect right away. It's going so fast. So if it's direct and redirect, now it's creating a sphere. You got to go, right? That's all it is. The faster you go, the more you see the one of everything, which is the mass of nothing. Speed, line, acceleration, or anything in time sequence is truly understand how to see that through measure or anything that corresponds to location or scales and how to see that. Everybody knows what a scale is, right? Right? This is low. This is too high. Right? That has to be balanced like this all the time. Right? Because if it's not, everything's off track location. Okay? Everything's off track location, right? You stay in the center line, you're good to go. This is off center. This is off grid and set position. A little bit confusing now, right? Because you're not in your settings. So you're going to feel that your body is doing this. You're here, right? That's you at the end, right? And this is you. This is you roguing in space, lost in transition, not connected to anything, falling off in set position. That's how your body feels. Now it's in black hole. Now it doesn't know what to do. It's lost. It's confused. Doesn't understand what's going on in space and time. Okay? So that's why it's very important to understand to balance this. The mind is stillness. So getting in that position, you get a better angle. Really understand how to use that in all communication to its settings, right? Process lines of indication lines of 1, but know exactly how do you see yourself in pi. Okay, through a 3, a 4, from above, looking below. Okay, let's start with the settings. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 directions. Looking at 9 directions at everything you look at. 9 directions. Now, when you understand direct and redirect, this is what you're doing. That's 1. Okay? This is 1. It's a continuous 1. It's not a continuous 2, unless you want to change it. Then you got to change the frame. 1. 1. Okay? And 1. 9 directions. Oh, there you go. 9 directions. 9 directions, you see. So you're here. This is your Earth. Okay, you're there, right? And you're looking at 9 directions of setting. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, all at once. You're looking at 9 directions of everything. Now, getting that position location, let's add 3 directions. Indirect signals and modifications comes out through the equation of security line defense. Travels lines of 1, 9 direct signals, and 3 track locations. Okay? So that's 9 over 3 in position of 12 in set position. But you're seeing 9 different directions. You're seeing 12 different directions. You're seeing 24 different directions. You're seeing 48 different directions. You're seeing 72 different directions through your eyes, through direct and redirect. So direct and redirect is 1. It's not this, it's 1. It's 1 together, right? Now, once you understand that, then you understand the past, the present, and the future is 1 together. 3 tethers, but into 1. So it's 3 wires into 1. There's 3 wires in here into 1 wire. That's all it is. So everything you see is past, present, future. All timelines existing all at once through travel. Okay? From this to travel here. From this to travel here is to see it from here. From above, looking below. Through pi, guys. Getting the connections of pi through a 9-line setting. Going through 12 lines of pi or 24, 48, 72. See it at all different angles all at once. So when you're looking at things, you're actually seeing its structure, you're actually seeing its geometric, you're actually seeing its space, you're actually seeing its time of what it is. Oh, it's face recognition, pattern recognition. Okay. Set position of center. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. 12 pieces of pie. All right? You are here. Flying above. Looking what you've accomplished. This, and this. In set position. All at once. So you're taking care of this through pi. Let's start with that. Then you're taking care of this through pi. Right? Then you're taking care of this. Then you take care of this. See what I mean? You go through the pi. And then you realize everything's existing all at once through pi. Now this is set position location 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. 7 different lines of angles. 7, right? Set course standard lines of 20 lines. Set position location of 50 lines. So that's 20 minutes of pi. That's 50 minutes of pi. That's 2 hours of pi. That's 6 hours of pi. That's 12 hours of pi. That's 24 hours of pi. That's 6 days of pi. That's 3 months of pi. All through 7. All through 7 through pi. From hours, minutes, and seconds, and platforms of days, months, and years. So I'm just showing you what you guys can do through a clocking system, all levels of mass, through pi. It's very powerful when you see things above, looking below, right? Because all you're doing is you're coordinating your system to create your line calculation setting to your own mapping sequence through pi, right? Again, you're here. Okay, so you're here. Let's get into replication line system. You're there, right? All right, so if you're here, you start there, right? Now you're up. Okay. Now you're here. Okay. Now, this basically puts you in position location. Here's your car. Okay. That's your car, right? All right, so you get here. There's your car. You're inside your car. All right, so that's a map right there. You see the map? See, as you put it together, it comes together. There's the map. And if you look really close in set position, that's what it looks like on your Earth in set directions. All through setting. All through pi. Okay, and that's what you did, right? Through set positions and how you see yourself in minutes, hours, and set position of seconds, or anything, days, months, and years through pi, and a 7-line position and a track location line set a 24-hour sequence. So it's amazing how you can go from anything in lines of minutes, hours, and seconds, days, months, and years, and set position. Okay? Because it's all set up in lines of communication setting, all through your travels, in all direct location system, through your mapping sequence to your Earth. Here's another one. Here's another one. Here's another one. And here's another one. There's your Earth inside of you. So it's important you understand that because it's all memory, right? So it's like following that roadway and position, location, and setting. Following the runway, right? Now it's really interesting how you look at that set positions. You see it in all different angles, right? Platforms of 1, platforms of 6, platforms of 8, platforms of 12. Okay? And then you got your center system of center calculation. Right? Then you get your center operation of your rainbow correlation setting attractions. Then you have a direct modification lines and screen lines adaptation to a setting, all through travel. Direct symbolism, course centers of line, rotation surface, all through memory cycles, in line direct signals, a modification system, in all track location to a setting. Okay? And here is the door. Here's the door. Right? There's a door right here in set position. Right? So it just opens up. Okay? It opens up. It opens up. It's coming to you. It's coming to you. You don't open the door. The door opens you. You don't open the door. The door comes to you. The stairs comes to you. Everything comes to you through travel. That's the vacuum. That's why it gets very confusing. You actually think you're opening up a door, going through this and going through that. No, everything's coming to you through attractions. So the door's coming to you. Everything comes to you through attractions, all through a door. Okay. You see that on a mirror? Let's get interactions and settings. How you see it, position locations. All right, this is you. Basic understanding, right? That's you, right? All right, this is the mirror. Okay, now, sending lines of communication and noise interference. This is your phone. That's your phone, right? Now, in that position is 3 triangulation line communication setting, right? Process communications, right? Sets lines, 0 line here, opens up in set position, comes to you. Comes to you, 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 comes to you. And there it is, all through a mirror. Everything comes to you through attractions and setting. Okay, guys? Which means you're not looking at a mirror. You're not looking at a mirror. You're not looking at anything. Everything's coming to you through attraction, right? So it's a magnetic force or attractor beam that everything comes to you. Space modulation, it gets very confused through the body because the body gets emotional. So if it's not coming to you, it offlines its communication lines of travel and off communication to your systems, right? Set you off in division, and you get very confused and normally stuck in the actual mirror itself. You're inside the mirror now because you didn't allow it to come to you. You're inside now. You're stuck in the mirror. So that opens all frequencies, open up dimensions, open all line screen adaptation to a setting. So the mirror is now in your central system, in your universe of communication. Okay? So it's basically understanding how everything comes to you in all lines of attractions. Remember the stairs. It's about understanding how to basically see everything from mission location to its systems, right? Everything that comes into you is all through a film strip that you already have in traction. Right? So this is how it's all set up in set position. If it's set up like that, this is you here, this is you here, this is you here in 3 cycles. Right? That's you in 3 cycles, right? Let's say day 1. Okay, 24 cycles. Let's go into day 24. and lines of locations of day 68 in travel, right? So abundance, abundance, abundance in chronological order. Okay, so all that comes to you through file. Comes to you through file. Comes to you, right? Set in position is on one cycle. 2 track location lines of 3 settings in process data formation screen. That's 3 lines of communications, right? Directing lines of highest interference across line communication lines of highest interference, high direct signals. Data lines of 2 comes with higher lines of formation lines of data and process lines of files and track locations, right? And then day 3 comes in all communications again, files coming back to you in track location. Hoo-ah. All right. So have you left the center of anything? No. You're 3 cycles in the center. You haven't left. You're always in the center of everything. So everything comes to you in set position. Through a wormhole, through a portal, through a stargate, through all calculational lines and direct signals and modification. It all comes to you. Now, once you understand that and you let everything go as it comes in chronological order, sets lines communication over crosses line symbolism, the process of the body just becomes automatic and a continuous force of existing all at once. Everything comes to you, not back to you. Okay? So you don't have to do anything. It doesn't matter where you are here. Everything comes to you in chronological order through the film strips that you are and the game levels that you're in set position. The game levels of you is all levels of your game life. And how you see yourself and how you modify yourself puts all lines of all communication lines of balance. And how you see yourself, how a door comes to you. You don't open the door. That door opens it up for you. All right? When you guys get your upgrades, you already have access here. It's already there. You're just remembering. Open the key. It opens up. So that's what it is. Force of recognition. Come in a continuous force. This is the mind. This is what it's doing. This is all through platitude of its existing, all through its timelines, all at once. Right? So you're here. And this is you. Right? Now, once you start to surrender and stop resisting yourselves, everything comes information to the system. Comes to you. Everything comes information locations. Comes to you, to expansion. Right? Now, once it comes into expansion, this and this comes together. Circulation rotations, one way and the other way in track locations. Directing signals, ear to ear, right over left, left over right. The center core system comes in the center operation lines of surface and retrack location setting and travel. Center operation view. Expands the energetic dome in set position that overrides cross-line screens adaptations and all levels of force recognition of existence of pattern recognition. Okay? That's all it is, the retraction. Okay? Understand how to see that in all formation to a setting. Okay? That's why you have to understand these things. You're not here to chase. You're here to understand how to attract everything that you have or you do off calculation. Okay? Because your body feels it. Right? So I'm basically understanding you're here. That's in center, right? It's good. You got the flywheel. Right? Okay, so you're here. It's really interesting, right? You're here. That's you, right? Now, let's say you change your behavior. All right, well, you're here now. And this is what you're doing. So whatever you're doing, you're repositioning your system. You reposition your system and your body feels it. So wherever you go, your body goes with its earth, right? Let's go over here. And you're over here now. Okay? You're off position, see? That's why you feel so confused with yourself. But what never leaves the center is your earth. Your earth stays in the center operation of its system. Okay? So it's just you not understanding how to communicate with your system and travel. That's all it is, nothing else. This is why you have to really understand the importance of this. Because if this is off, this affects everything in travel, the 3 track locations. 3 levels of U going this way, 1 going this way, and 1 going this way in set position. So you want to neutralize the course interference, bring this in, and bring together in one cycle, one center, one operation of U, and one track location. 3 into 1. 4 into 1, 5 into 1. That's how 5 equals 1. That's how 6 equals 1. That's how 7 equals 1. So you go in 7 lines at a time, 5 lines of division, and 6 lines of correlation, lines of location. It always equals 1 equals GOD, because it's constantly continuing. 1 equals GOD, because it's constantly continuing. 1 equals GOD, because it's constantly continuing through its existing, all at once in all timelines. So it doesn't matter how many times you travel through 7 of pi, or 5, or anything of 2, it always goes into 1. Okay? The center operation of U, which comes back to you, right? So I just want you to understand how this all works when it comes into that position location where you can be off position. Okay? Because this is all lines of communication, why it's so important when it comes to emotional systems. Your pattern recognition system, your emotional line track correlation system, you have to understand your patterns, the rhythm of your patterns, the waving of your patterns, the game of pattern recognition, how it formulates and simulates a view of balance. So if you're off balance, you can see why. Because it's center lines and off lines communication centers in all travel communicate to a system of the earth that you are. This is what is in setting. This is you in the center. Going in all lines of all different directions in set position. All at once. 3 directions. This doesn't matter line condition setting, but it's all about you coming in all levels of you and track locations. Let's start with the 3 cycles. 3 communicates to a system and travel and direct signals. 3 of you into 1. It's you dealing with you. That's all it is, right? So you can be at 25,000 line versions of boxes, and those 25,000 boxes goes back into 1. Okay? Which is direct and redirect, which puts you in your past, present, and future. The one thing you can't change is where you are in the center. The one thing you have to adapt is all levels of the mind, how it works, how you basically go from here and go from there. So if you're in the center operation here, you're good to go, right? But if you feel funny, you're like this now through your earth. And if you feel real funny, you're like this in your earth. Or you're like this in your cross and line condition setting, right? That causes headaches and migraines. So you're like this in the center, and you have no idea what's going on with you, huh? Right? So you're going this way. You're going this way. You're upside down. You're going this way. You're upside right. You're going this way. Left side right. You're going this way. Right side left. You're going this way. Set position of confusion. That's all levels of you. Off balance. Off balance. Okay? So you've got to get balance of what you're doing through your behavioral systems. Stop focusing on emotional means to an end. Right? I like to always bring this up to know exactly how you see these things from this to this. Right? This is the rope. Okay, that's the rope, right? That's the rope. Or it's a ladder. It can be anything it wants, right? It's a rope, right? So you're just going to focus on this. Why don't you just focus on that? But you don't need to focus on that because that comes back to you. Right? So you don't need to climb the stairs. You understand that? You don't need to climb the stairs. It comes to you. And when you come to the center operation of expansions of you, which is all levels. Okay, so you come into the continuous force and how you see yourself in all levels of pi and all direct signals in modifications lines of center of everything. That's that position. Okay? So look at that. 1 hour and 25 minutes. 15 minutes outside. The rest in cycles and set position calculation setting. Right? So that's what it's basically based on. I showed you exactly what the test review and evaluation is going to be on Friday. Know exactly what you're doing already, in position already, in that position that gets you in calculation to a system, and understand how to see your quiz through all levels, because the quiz is also based on test review and evaluation. Because it's what you already know, but how do you see yourself through quiz? Quantum, unification, intelligence, a zone. It's about truly understanding that we all have to get out of the programs that we're not and get into the programmers that we are. Okay? All right, directing lines, modification lines, and ground centers. Let's go into Stargate Portal. We'll go in direct location in the Coliseum. Online settings to travel endpoint lines of graph. Okay? Door recognition lines of C into lower deck. See you guys in 5.